Right, here we go.
Whew, A Knight's Tale.
A Knight's Tale. What did we think? What did we think? What did we think?
What do we think? What do we think? Fernando, you go first. What did you think?
I feel like I need to buy the NFT of this movie.
Yeah.
Is that to protect the world from this movie? So
I don't know what that means.
I also don't know what it means. I just thought it meant a good thing, that like something that you wanted to preserve. That it was just so good
wonderful.
that you must have the original one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was the expected meaning of buying the NFT.
I'm sensing that feeling maybe didn't make its way through the group. And before you say anything, bite me.
Claire, what did you think?
So I expected to hate this movie.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I kept calling it Highlander in the run-up.
You actually said to me, just not even a hint of a joke. Claire was like, "Oh yeah, should we watch Highlander then?" I was like, "What do you mean? Should we watch Highlander now for film club?" I was like, "Claire, it's not Highlander, is it?"
So I didn't hate this film. I just didn't get into it. It just didn't capture me. I could see there was humour and it was a nice story, but just wasn't for me.
That's fair.
Oh, this is just upsetting. We should end the meeting now.
Yeah, I agree.
It's probably for the best. Laura's back.
My battery's died. I'm sorry, guys. I have to go.
And Michael?
I liked this film.
Oh my God.
This was a good film. Not taking the piss.
That was misleading, but I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, this was good. It had some weird stuff in it, but it felt like they had a vision. Someone was in charge of it, and they were like, "Yeah, shit, we're going to do all this weird stuff, and it's going to be like all the other sort of cheesy underdog movies, but we're just going to play it a bit differently and a bit weird." And none of the dialogue's quite going to be like a normal film, but it's kind of going to be inspired. And do you know what? Big guys jousting on horses. Lots of beautiful people doing beautiful things. Baddie got his comeuppance. Yeah, good film.
I am thrilled.
I was more into it than I expected to be.
Did you not expect to be? After all the build-up that I'd given?
After your dark hints at what I had to expect. But no, my overall point of view was like, oh, this one isn't so bad, was what I was expecting. Like, this is, yes, it's one of those films, but trust me, it's not as bad as the other ones. And this was not like Highlander, and this was not like, I don't know what, First Night. This was, it kind of had, it reminded me of Mean Girls, that like it was an example of a kind of a good film in a genre that's usually terrible. But it wasn't as good as Mean Girls. I'm not going that far.
Mean Girls was great, I take that. Take your point there. Yeah.
What did you think, Laura?
Oh, I love it.
Is this an old favourite of yours?
It is, yeah. I wouldn't say it was quite on the level of Interview with the Vampire or The Count of Monte Cristo in my teenage years. I didn't sleep with pictures of anyone in the cast above my bed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You didn't have a special box that you kept the DVD in?
No, not for this one. But I really liked it. I've watched it quite a lot. I've not watched it for a few years, I don't think. And then I watched it not that long ago and loved it. My God, I was on board for the ride. And then I watched it again for this meeting, and there were a few things I was like, I can see this is going to cause problems. Yes, okay, I'm starting to see.
Saw it with fresh eyes.
Did you see it through my eyes?
I think so. I think I was trying to imagine what your reaction would be. And I thought I was really, really on board all the way through until maybe the very last minute. which I still like. I just think it's a bit silly when they start kissing and then it fades to the stars. I can see why they did it, but it was kind of a bit like you managed
That's
to get
the bit you thought was silly.
I mean, okay, but I don't know.
Did you see any of the rest of the film? Did you see the bit where he was jousting without any armour?
Oh yeah. I didn't question that at all. I thought, wow, isn't he brave?
he's very
I thought
brave.
the same, yeah. It reminded me of Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, and he only manages to escape the prison when he's no longer afraid of death.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh wow, that's a really good parallel, actually.
No, it's not. Yeah, so up to the end, you were on board with it, Laura.
Yeah.
How long were you on board with it, Fernando?
I really liked it. I thought this might be the greatest film ever. And if films could be national anthems, this should be the national anthem of the European Union.
Yeah.
I didn't know where any of that sentence was going.
I'm not quite sure where it went. Well, I'm glad you liked it. What did you like about A Knight's Tale?
It was funny. It was so funny.
Yep.
And then I liked, I'm not sure if he was a jester, the person who introduced, I already forgot his name.
Geoffrey Chaucer.
Chaucer, yes.
Yes, the Herald.
Ulrich. Yes, he was so fun.
Yeah, he was cool.
What else did I like? Well, there are things that I disliked. As in, why was he in love with a noble woman? As in, he should have been in love with the blacksmith.
Yes, that is true.
She was like 1,000 times cooler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that crossed my mind as well. She was cool.
And she was also more attractive.
I don't know. I think Shannon Sossaman is very attractive. I mean, the blacksmith was cute, but
I like the blacksmith better.
Is that just because she was Scottish?
She was
fail to be won over by her Scottish charms.
That was in spite of her being Scottish.
Yeah, what else? And what did you like about the film? Or what did you not like about the film, Claire?
I suppose there wasn't a lot that I didn't like. I agree, it committed to what it was, which I think is a huge part of making a film like that.
Yep.
Just sort of, what did I not like about it? It's a very tough question. Because I wonder if maybe if I hadn't been feeling poorly, if I'd have maybe enjoyed it a bit more.
Oh no, were you feeling a little bit ill?
Yes, I have a cold.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, thank you. I'm actually feeling a lot better today. But I was just really wobbly last night.
That can definitely influence your opinion on
I think
your perspective on things.
Yeah. Yeah, what did it...
Well, to be honest, I thought that this film could have was saved by the music. There were certain times that I thought, well...
So I didn't like the use of music.
Very striking use of music, wasn't it? Again, commitment.
Yeah, did anyone find it jarring? I really liked it.
So jarring.
I loved it.
The whole point of it was to be jarring, though, right?
What?
These are like songs that should never have existed, and with the people singing along in the crowd, it was just like... It was like the director was saying, yeah, it's a song, it's anachronistic, yeah, it's not meant to be here in medieval, so what? What do I care?
Bite me, as Laura
I dare you to dislike it. And just I'm doing it in the first scene as well.
Yeah.
That was just so, like, balls out. Here's the fucking movie.
But not even quite the first scene. I mean, it starts with this very like grand music and the titles coming up being like in medieval times, a sport arose.
Yes.
And then they have this little intro scene and then suddenly they're playing We Will Rock You by Queen.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit like Shrek in that way. You know, like having rock and pop music playing over these like medieval scenes.
You can't say it doesn't work in Shrek.
He reads from the book, and it's got all this, like fantasy music in the background, and then he says, and then he wipes his ass with the page, and then it goes into Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what they did. They were wiping their ass with our expectations, and I kind of respected it.
Yeah, so that's where, in some ways, I feel like it's. Sorry, I'm eating while I'm doing this.
Sorry, me too. Terrible behaviour.
That is shocking. I've got a cup of tea, but I feel like that's where the line is.
Yeah. I've got a Belgian curl.
That sounds quite nice.
I've got a Belgian curl as well.
So it's always like we watched the Beatles film the other day. So I was kind of thinking this while I was watching it. In some ways, it was doing a lot of things like that, like having the jarring music next to the scenes, which then Shrek did amazingly. And I wonder if there were other aspects of it where it was doing it for the first time and just trying it out and just going for it. And maybe it didn't land very well for me. But other people have since nailed the same sorts of things. And so it was trying fun things.
Okay. I don't think we can give it too much benefit of the doubt for being old. This came out in 2001. This definitely
That's a while ago, though.
I suppose, but for example, that was after Shrek.
It was after Shrek.
Yeah, it was after Shrek. It was after Shrek was 2000 or maybe 2001.
No.
Oh, well, in that case, it was a load of shit.
It definitely didn't inspire Shrek.
I'd built that whole narrative in my head.
Right, same year as Shrek.
How odd. Maybe it was a 2001 thing.
Yeah, just new millennium, we can do anything.
I think what they do well in Shrek is that they don't try and go back to, there's no real medieval dialogue or feel, whereas this flipped.
Yeah, this did dwell in something like the real world, didn't it? This wasn't a fantasy world with crazy stuff all over the place. This was...
They weren't even talking cookies in this one.
I know, it was lacking that in a way, wasn't it?
I thought.
But yeah, it could have gone too far with it, and it didn't. It did this kind of, deliberately jarring stuff, but it did then take it back to this is a story set in medieval Europe, and it's a reasonably believable setting.
Oh, I really hated the dancing scene.
Oh, I was going to ask.
They were going to floss at some point when he was asked, "Please show us a dance from your country." I was like, "Well, he's going to start flossing."
It did look like he was building up to that,
but he didn't.
Sorry, what's flossing? Is that like dabbing?
Whoa!
Yes, but for your hips.
And faster.
So it's like the twist.
Yes, it is a bit like the twist.
I'm taking this back to... Oh, God, I'm getting old, aren't I?
Yeah, it's a bit like a bossa nova.
Yeah, like the Fosbury Flop, something like that. Oh, shit, that's not even a dance, isn't it? That's a high jump move. Yeah, okay. Sorry, Laura needs to go at some point. Don't get me started
right. My battery's
dancing and stuff.
Lasting reasonably well. The screen thing, really, I'm on 67%. Okay, so we have lost quite a lot of battery in 14 minutes.
Okay, keep going.
61. Who's your favourite character? Least favourite character? At least favourite and favourite. And then we'll do symbolism, yeah?
Great.
And then we'll book in that for the end, and then jobs are good. No, I have lots I want to talk about. Sorry. But yeah,
favourite's definitely Chaucer. He was great.
Fantastic.
Loved Paul Bettany as Chaucer.
Paul Bettany's a real star,
Well, I've only ever seen him in A Beautiful Mind, and he was a kind of similar character in some ways.
He's done some real shit. I might pick it. My God, it's a load of shit. Priest. He plays a priest. Kills vampires.
Paul Bettany Silas in Da Vinci Code.
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
it was the
monk.
The monk, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the pink eyes.
Yeah, the albino monk.
Albino guy, yeah, cool. I thought I recognised him from that. But yeah, he was great, wasn't he? I loved his whole sort of flamboyant style and just bumping into him completely naked. I think this is based on Fernando. You might not know who Geoffrey Chaucer is. Do you know who Geoffrey Chaucer is? This is a real person.
Was he? I mean, is he a faculty member of the School of Math?
No,
I think in fairness, Fernando's more likely to know about Chaucer than I am.
Yeah, that my guess was that he would have done, but it's just you couldn't remember his name earlier. So he was an English, a poet. He wrote the Canterbury Tales. He was a real medieval
poet.
A
Knight's Tale.
Including A Knight's Tale, of course. Oh, I've got to read A Knight's Tale now and see whether it's exactly the same as this.
The oldie connect.
Oh, wouldn't that be interesting though if this was actually based on Chaucer's Knight's Tale?
Would be
anyway, I'm told Chaucer did go missing for periods in his life, and no one really knows what he was doing for that time. It's just kind of lost to history.
That's excellent.
So, I don't know if this film was trying to fill in those gaps and saying, here's maybe what Chaucer was up to. Just got into gambling debt, went to France, and toured around with some knight. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, he probably went to the Americas and went by another name, which is why I'm not recognizing his name.
True. True.
Least favourite characters? Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I've got a soft spot for Watt. The ginger one. And Roland. I really liked it. I thought all the side characters were very good.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I should do mine. My least favourite character was Watt.
Oh.
Who's
the ginger guy.
Michael.
The ginger?
Yeah.
What?
He was
Indeed, that was
the
worst.
His name. Well, I said what, and you. Who's the band on stage? Oh my god, you're right there. You're allergic to my hatred of Watt. Yeah, he was just such an objectionable character. The whole bunch of them I thought were a great ragtag band, and I loved Chaucer, I loved Kate, I loved Roland. And I thought they were a great team, but he was just flipping off his handle all the time, beating the shit out of people. He was way too flighty, and he was just a dislikable character. I'd say I think he was the only character I really hated in the whole film.
Oh.
Even the baddie?
Even the baddie. Yeah, he was a good villain.
Wasn't he? I was just thinking, if we do another best villain, you know who my pick will be. I love a one-dimensional villain.
Yeah.
Just a bastard for no reason.
He really scaled up, though, didn't he? Because to start with, he just seemed like a sort of minor antagonist. What was he doing? He was mansplaining, jousting, or whatever, and we had a little chuckle at that. And then it's just a little bit more where he's putting him down in front of the crowd, and then just a little bit. And by the end, he's full on trying to murder him in front of everyone, trying to ruin his whole life, beating the shit out of him, and charging at him with a knife on the end of his stick. Ridiculous. I thought, wow, this has come a long way from. I thought this was going to be a minor character that just gets shown up or something. It was really good.
No, he's indeed almost. One could compare him to Ishmael. Ishmael? Wait, no, Captain Ahab.
Captain Ahab.
No, Ishmael. That's
not Ishmael.
No, he wasn't just along for the. It's time. I think it might be time to admit that I've never read Moby Dick.
Well, I'm thinking
I don't really get the references that we need.
We should probably pick Moby Dick as a film at some point.
Is it a film?
There must be a film of Moby Dick.
There definitely is. I think it's called In the Heart of the Sea.
Oh, I mean, I assume there's 10.
Yeah, there's probably loads, actually. And In the Heart of the Sea looks absolutely dreadful, but not in a good way.
Okay. Should we have a Moby Dick season where we watch all the versions?
Sounds fun.
try and compare it to A Knight's Tale.
Oh, the version from 1956 has Orson Welles in it.
Ooh.
As Father Maple, who we all know well.
Yep. I love Father Maple. He's my favourite character.
Third important character after Captain Ahab, played by Gregory Peck.
Really?
Dreamy.
Oh, I'm in.
And Ishmael.
I love Gregory Peck.
Nice.
Yeah, what was it? Oh yeah, I think it took me until I was watching it as an adult to realise that the final bit where he's on his back and they're standing over him is like a dream sequence.
Oh.
Did you think he'd got back on the horse and fallen off again after that?
Yeah. Oh no, I thought they were just replaying the fall.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like yeah. But then I realised where they were standing.
Clear, was it? But yeah.
I think they probably raised him a bit off the ground to signify it. This isn't, he's floating in.
Like he's still falling.
Yeah,
it was good, wasn't it?
It was good. I enjoyed it.
If anything, I thought that whole speech was a bit cheesy or something. But yeah, having it happen in his head was quite a nice touch.
Yeah, that's true.
And set us up well for the very full-on kissing. It's like this is not like a bashful congratulations, you won the thing kiss. This is like a take me now kind of kiss in front of everyone. I was like, whoa, this is a bit much.
She's abandoned his blind dad to run onto the field.
Yes. I guess she just really loved him.
Do we know who she was? Like, she was just this aristocrat, like, following him around?
I think so, yeah.
She was noble lady number 3.
That's just nonsense, though, isn't it?
Oh, I think that's kind of how high society worked and probably still works, right? You just make an appearance at these... Yeah, that would have been... Like, the tourney is the big social event of the month that anyone who's anyone shows themselves at, and she was there.
In your hometown, but then she was at, like, all of them.
That's true, and we got some impression that she wasn't from France, right?
I don't know where she was from.
I think she was meant to be from somewhere sort of distant and interesting.
Oh, is that why she had, like, interesting hairstyles and stuff?
Yeah, she had, like, crazy clothes and crazy hairstyles and...
Oh my god, she was from the future.
Oh, wow.
This is a time travel film.
Yeah, she came back in time with a load of Queen CDs and changed the past.
And the CD player.
Yeah. Yeah, she brought the CD player. Or maybe LPs, because you play them on anything. I want to say... shout out to probably all the women in the film. I thought they were all really great.
Shout out to women.
Shout out to women generally. I don't know, like we talk about how like, oh, the women in this film were portrayed really badly, or this person was horrible, or it's just if I had to pick like 5 characters I really liked, 3 of them would have been the 3 women.
Who was the third woman?
There was Christiana, Jocelyn's maid.
Oh, yes.
Who was great. And I was hoping... I thought there was going to be like a subplot with her and Roland getting together.
Every time.
Because they even had this thing where he was like stumbling over his words, talking to her, and she was chuckling at him. And I thought, yeah, there's another little romance here. And then I thought maybe Kate will end up with someone or whatever.
Like a Shakespeare.
I was actually thinking, where's the 4th woman going to turn up? Because there's 4 of the guys.
God.
But in the end, they just abandoned that, and they just had William and Jocelyn, and the other 2 just got on with their lives, which I guess is what people do. But also, they were all great.
I'd like to say that Adamar is still very much in discussion with Jocelyn's father for her hand in marriage.
Oh no! I mean, that's going to be a pretty hard sale after her performance at the end of the last tournament. Like, she's made that pretty clear where her heart lies, right?
But I mean, wouldn't he do it just to exact his revenge and then punish her for it for the rest of her life?
Oh man, that would be the Count Mondego approach, wouldn't it?
Certainly would.
A
Knight's Tale 2.
Are we meant to
fill it in?
A Knight's Tale 2, Adamar's back.
Pretty good.
Adamar Strikes Back.
Adamar
Return of
Strikes
the Adamar. Who's jousting now?
That's the one. That's it.
In fact, Electric Boogaloo would probably fit quite well, wouldn't it? No, so I think we're meant to think that his reputation has been immeasurably damaged by having been knocked off his horse, right?
Yeah, I guess. I would have
now
thought
that
it would
William's
already
in the
be.
favour of the king,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, getting knocked off, it said you lose your horse and all of that.
And surely someone's going to tell on him with the whole having a knife on the end of the joust thing.
Well, that occurred to me. He did have like the thing stuck in his shoulder. Could he have like pulled it out and said, "Look, have you looked at the? Tell you what, just grab his next jousting pole and just give it a little squeeze at the end." But I guess he didn't want to be a snitch.
He wanted to beat him in the joust.
Ah, there we are. Actually, did they realise that?
Yeah.
Did he think he was just getting stuck with a splinter?
No, because I think Kate, remember, said he's tipped it.
Yeah. Oh, Kate knows.
He's tipped it? I can't do it. What accent is that? Is it Glaswegian?
Yeah, it's
He's tipped it.
He's tapped up, pal. Watch it.
Savage.
No, I thought Kate was great as well. I loved her sort of. She was like joking around with them, but she was kind of nice as well as like giving as good as she got, and she was like making fun of them, but also helping them.
And she invented Nike.
She invented Nike. Yeah. Maybe she was Nike.
What?
Was Nike the goddess of victory?
Yeah.
Oh.
Her maker's mark was the tick on the...
Oh, was it? I thought it was
armor.
2 crescents.
I think it was 2 ticks.
Oh.
Or maybe they were meant to be crescents. Yeah, to me they looked like Nike
I
ticks.
think the filmmakers had to seek permission from Nike to use the ticks.
No way.
So...
Oh god, is that like another anachronistic thing? If you look closely in the 4th scene, Count Adamar's got Adidas stripes on.
His name does sound a lot like Adidas.
Adamar. But yeah, she was great. Chaucer was great. There are a lot of likeable characters, weren't there?
They were all written very well and acted very well. I just pulled out my headphone.
Roland basically playing the same character he played in the full Monty. If that was him, which I think it was.
Yes, I think it was.
Or possibly Billy Elliot, I forget.
And maybe a bit in Game of Thrones. He plays a very sort of affable... No, he's different in Game of Thrones. He's a lot more negligent.
I don't remember
him in Game of Thrones.
Robert Baratheon.
Is he Robert Baratheon?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's a very different role.
Well, he's kind of charming.
Yeah.
You're very much like, this is Mark Addy. If you knew who that was,
well,
clearly not.
Apparently not. No, I mean, I've seen the full Monty and I've seen Game of Thrones. I'd never made the connection.
Yeah, I just didn't recognise him.
I have to say, I'd never have recognised Heath Ledger.
What?
Having only seen The Dark Knight.
Oh, okay.
I thought, yeah, and everyone's always said, like, yeah, everyone was all over him when he did The Dark Knight, and everyone said he was going to be crap, but he really pulled it out. And that's all I've seen him in. So I just had this vague idea he's played like a lot of lesser roles. And I guess this is one of them.
I don't know. I think this helped his. I don't know what he'd been in before this.
Was he not in the kids' film? No.
The kids' film?
A Knight's Tale.
What the one based on the Stephen King book, Stand By Me? Was he not in that?
Oh, was he? I've never seen that. He's in 10 Things I Hate About You, which is a great film.
Yeah, no, he wasn't in.
You haven't seen Stand By Me?
No.
Oh, it's just you gave it to us as a gift on Blu-ray, or you gave it to Claire, right?
Yeah, it came highly recommended.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I figured you were giving it as like a recommendation, but
it did not star Heath Ledger, just for the record.
I see.
I have checked.
So, speaking of actors in this film, I think I have vaguely hinted at some point about my personal connection to this film. Not me, but a friend of mine at school is a washed-up child actor. He was in The Others.
Oh, I think you have mentioned this.
Yeah, so he played actually a very important role in The Others, but he was on screen for like 10 seconds. He's one of the others. He's one of the living in the house, and he like looks up at the house at the end and goes, "Mummy, are we going to Scotland or whatever?" And that was his first major role. And his second major role was going to be in A Knight's Tale. And I think he got down to the last two for one of the little kids. And he didn't get it. And that shattered his career. And he never ended up doing anything more.
Oh, that's really sad.
So I take it he would have been young Will.
Or maybe the little boy at the end who he sees himself in and then comes and throws stuff at him when he's in the stocks.
Yeah, that guy.
What a fickle crowd.
That would be so Alex.
Yeah, they change very quickly.
Yeah, definite sort of, they'd just go along with anything, won't they?
Peasants.
They loved him. He was their champion, and then they're like, oh, he's not a noble. Chuck stuff at him. But I guess they just loved a good public humiliation.
Oh, it turns out the king likes him. We like him again.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Well, that I can see. It's a bit like, yeah, who wants to throw stuff at the guy who's just made a knight by the king who's right there? I think I'd have cheered. Keep clapping till my hands fall off. But yeah, it seemed like an attack on the unwashed masses, didn't it?
Yeah.
We are the angry mob. We read the papers every day. That whole thing.
I think it had a strange relationship to class.
Oh, talk about its strange relationship to class.
Just that, it was very much like you can overcome poverty if you're determined enough.
Yeah.
That's it, really. I don't have anything deeper to say about that. It was...
And the solution...
Neoliberal.
I read that word recently.
Oh! Are we going to talk about neoliberalism again?
I cannot remember where I read it, but I know that I read it recently. I was like, here's an example of the word neoliberalism being used.
Nice.
If only you could remember, you would help us.
If only I could remember. It was in the news. Whatever.
So
Fine.
It occurs to me that one conclusion of this film would be he becomes well recognised and gets everything he wants despite remaining a peasant, and that would be an uplifting end. And they went for the alternative, which was through determination he became no longer a peasant and joined the upper classes, which was
the real Alan Sugar story.
Yes. Yeah, so now he can just start shitting on everyone else like he was shat on the American dream.
Exactly.
Yeah, Sugar story.
I've been watching The Apprentice, so I've got Ireland. Nice. I've got sugar on the brain.
That's a shame.
I think I'm going to pick the next episode of The Apprentice as my next watch.
Yeah, we'll see when it gets to your turn again.
I think I might have a headache that day.
You're fired.
Sorry, just like Alan Sugar. I thought it was him.
Yeah, he always does it in that intonation. In the new ones, he starts shaking up a bit. You can't just keep pointing the finger and saying "You're fired."
You're fired.
That's how Chaucer would have done it.
That's how Chaucer would have done it. I loved the other herald sort of trying to get in on his act and not quite getting it and really giving it a good go. I liked him for it, but it just wasn't as good.
He was a surprisingly good character.
Yeah.
Just a good bloke in the wrong circumstances.
He ended up clapping at the end, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That was good. Yeah, he got his arc.
Yeah.
Not many of them got an arc, did they? The supporting characters were just sort of piggybacking on Will's arc.
Yeah. Maybe Watt had a bit of where he'd learned to take a bit of not take himself quite so seriously.
Did he?
I don't know. But certainly he laughed at one of Chaucer's jokes instead of punching him in the face.
Yeah, okay.
That was an arc. Growth. Is that an arc? That's growth. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I'm giving him that. Yeah, that was his overriding character flaw, and he came to improve that, so that's good.
I think Kate was interesting, wasn't she? So she wanted to get as far as Paris for unknown reasons, but then stayed with them after they'd been to Paris.
Yeah, that's true. They never really expanded on that.
No, I think there's a good story in there that we could make up if we wanted.
I feel like I want to watch the extended edition, the director's cut, with the extra stuff about Kate and the stuff about Christiana and Roland falling in love. I bet if we looked it up, there'd be a whole load of deleted scenes that they had to cut for time.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
Maybe if we read the original in the Canterbury Tales.
Well, I think they should have kept those scenes and got rid of the dancing scene and the crowd singing "We Will Rock You" or whatever it was. 7 Seas of Rye, I don't remember.
You'd cut all the colour.
Yeah.
You'd cut what made it A Knight's Tale.
Yep.
Just jousting. It should have just been jousting. Very much like Lagan. They should have had 2 hours of jousting at the end.
Yeah,
do you know what? That would have been great. They could have set the story up, could have had Bovan, I Love You, and then just the jousting tournament for the second half of the film.
How good was the explaining the rules of jousting where because we hear it. Is it Adamar that explains it to us?
Yeah.
The point. So good. It was couldn't be more artificially constructed, this scenario where she's like, well, actually, I don't know the rules of jousting.
These incredibly
simple rules. Let me
rules.
educate you. He sits down, and I swear to God, the camera pans over and zooms in on his face a little bit. He's like, okay, viewers, you joust 3 times. There's 1 point if you get it in the...
Let me just load this PowerPoint.
It reminded me of the bits in The Lord of the Rings where it's this is getting quite complicated, so let's have the scene where they all look at the map. Nice wide camera angle pointed at the map, and they say, right, so we're here and we're going to there, and just to give the audience time to catch up.
I prefer the Mutiny on the Bounty approach, where they just give you a paragraph that is, just cut scene. Put them up in writing.
Just have to do the required reading, yeah. I was all for that. I'm trying to think of a more organic way that they could have explained the rules of jousting to the viewers. But I think I'm glad they went for
breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, just about. Or the very heavy-handed. There's a character here who needs filling in on all of these details.
Even though she apparently goes to every jousting tournament.
Yes. And that was a good touch as well, right? She just wasn't interested in the jousting until she had someone to root for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we ever get to the bottom of their argument? Where she and Will just had a massive fallout, and then he wrote his really poetic letter, and then it was all just fine again.
Yeah, what the hell was that about? Can someone explain that to us?
Oh, they needed some conflict for the film.
Right.
So they made them fall out.
But there wasn't any conflict. They didn't fall out over something. They just shouted at each other.
You're just a girl.
You're just a stupid girl with a rose.
Here's why I think it works, because they show William to be very childish all the way through. He's very petulant, and he's very much like, well, I'm giving up the sword. I'm not interested. I can't be bothered with it. We're leaving post haste. Is that a term?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stat.
Mm-hmm. So he makes all of these very rash, almost spoiled decisions, and then so he's being very petulant and childish when he realizes that he hasn't defeated Adamar. So
it's when
he's won the tournament.
Has caused it?
Yes, he's won the tournament, but he's like, "What a hollow victory! I'm so angry that Adamar withdrew, and I didn't get to beat him."
Take it out on.
So I'm just going to lash out because she wants to talk about dresses and balls, and I have no interest in that thing right now because my mind's on.
Okay.
What a dick.
So it was just after he had learned that about Adamar that he got pissy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because he was way out of line.
Mm-hmm.
Also, why was the sword trophy a jouster?
Yes.
That really confused me.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was feverish or something. What's going on?
No.
I don't understand.
You're right.
What do you think your favourite song was used in the film? Like a scene.
They did quite a good job of The Boys Are Back in Town.
Yeah, I love that.
They let that breathe a bit. There's so many films and TV shows or adverts or whatever that use that, and they use the 5-second clip of them saying The Boys Are Back in Town. Whereas this, we got a couple of minutes with the whole guitar solo and the opening verse and everything. It was good.
Yeah, that was good.
I like Taking Care of Business.
Yeah.
God, they loved a montage.
When was that?
That's a sidebar. That was when he was practicing at the very beginning. He was learning how to joust, and they played Take Care of Business.
Yeah, it's training montage number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did good jobs with the montages as well. And each shot in the montage told us something about one of the characters, and that was good.
Yeah. Fernando, did you have a favourite song?
I have forgotten all of the songs in the film. I just know that I like them all. And without them, the film would have been a little bit more difficult to watch.
Would have been more of your classic. I don't know. It wouldn't have been as fun. It was a very silly, fun affair.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Was there any symbolism?
What are the jousting poles supposed to represent?
Mike, I'd never even thought of that. Of course! Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't see it.
The whole thing.
That is them having sex with each other with the jousting. Of course. And that's why they have so much violence, because they can't actually just do what they want to do, which is have sex with each other. They have
For the
to
record,
just
that's not where I was going with this.
Wow.
Really?
Just make out
Where
already,
did you
guys.
think that was going to go?
Not quite that far. But yeah, it's definitely them showing off the.
Oh my God, he penetrated him in the
poles,
end,
aren't they? Yeah, he. I'll tell you what.
And Will penetrated Adamar first. Remember, he got a splinter that hurt him the first joust, and then in retaliation, he tips his lance to really.
Does he now?
Playing dirty.
This film is filthy.
Yeah. Will goes for the lighter armor. He is letting his guard down, letting his defenses down, just as he's doing with Jocelyn.
Yeah, he's learning to trust women.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah. In fact, it is Kate who encourages him to let his guard down, but it turns out he's all the stronger for it.
Yeah, nice. I feel like there should be a good Jesus thing, because there was so much of the Bible in it.
Yeah,
actually,
I'm
maybe there was
about
just
the
one
Bible.
thing about it. Was there? Oh yeah, the blasphemy. When Wat's like punishing him for being blasphemous.
Yes. Yeah, it was interesting the amount of Christian stuff in there, which again I thought like modern films they might have just left that out, but that is what life was like in medieval times. Like the church was everywhere and it was a big part of people's lives.
People take horses into churches very often.
Oh, no, what a scandal.
Desecrate the house of God. Thought that man played his part well.
He did, didn't he? And Jocelyn,
that.
what a great comeback for being caught just openly laughing at the situation. I only laugh to keep from crying. And totally wins him over. It's like, you could say that to anything. That's brilliant. I'm going to remember that one.
So, did anyone else get the sense that this whole film was actually about football?
It could have been any underdog sports movie,
No, it was
right?
football.
Football specifically.
Yes. Okay, so in the beginning...
I'm interested.
Take us through it.
Okay, so at the beginning it could be any sport, because there's a guy being like, hot meat, wine, roaming through the audience, which I feel like is a little modern tip. Oh, I feel like I remember all the other things. There's one where a knight's helmet flies off into the... They're doing the Mexican wave at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
There's one where a knight's helmet flies off into the crowd and they like jump for it like it's football.
Mm.
I mean, they do that in all sports, though. You ever watch the tennis and they throw their wristbands, sweaty wristbands into the crowd?
Maybe.
I thought it was baseball.
They do wear hats in baseball.
No, but then it's perhaps more common to just hit the ball off court and the audience just catching the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that was what catching the helmet was, right?
Mm.
Yeah, catching the ball when it goes off.
They have sticks in baseball as well.
Yeah,
they do. I've never.
No, Laura's. I think you've got a definite point there, Laura.
But then also, okay, just two more things, which is that remember when Roland starts chanting Gelderland in the same intonation as people would chant England?
Yeah.
Can you picture it?
I think so.
It's like, I don't want to chant it too loud, but he's like, Gelderland, Gelderland, Gelderland.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then they finish at the World Cup.
Yes, the World Championships of Jousting. That sounded so made up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think there's something in that. And
the face paint as well, I thought was very like football.
All bringing their colours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were trying to make the point that this was what people were into instead of football in medieval times, right? And I think they did a good job with it. If they brought back jousting, I would love to go and see it.
Oh, the jousting was great. I always get a bit anxious at the
Well, it seems like it's quite dangerous, but there's a lot of dangerous sports as it is. It's not like a proper blood sport where you kill people. As
dangerous as jousting?
Maybe. I'm thinking like nowadays as well, they'd be able to like design the kit so that you were very unlikely to get injured, and you could put neck guards on or whatever. Like people do UFC or whatever. Like that, if they can do that, they can do jousting.
I think falling off horses is quite dangerous, though. So a sport where the chief aim is to knock your opponent off their horse.
But they're
quite risky.
Even back then, they're on these big like sand arenas. I think you can make that safe.
I don't think so.
You could pad you wear big sort of sumo suits.
I think there's a real neck break risk.
Yeah, even if you go into like soft sand.
Yeah.
I just worry they're going to hit the horses in the eyes.
That also.
Yeah, you'd need to think about the safety of the horses as well. But then they don't fucking think about the safety of the horses in the Grand National, where like horses die all the time.
That's
horrendous blood sport. Is that
anymore.
Not true?
It's a lot safer than it used to be.
Where's the Grand National?
A couple of years a horse will die, though, right?
They do occasionally, but
yeah, maybe not like it was.
Wait, is that polo?
No,
no, it's a race.
A horse race?
Yeah, a race with jumps, I think.
Horses die in races?
Horse race.
Yeah.
If they fall, because I think they don't die on flat races, right?
Yeah.
But the jumps, they have to jump really high to get over these hedges, and it's fine if they land okay, but if they don't land okay, a horse is really heavy, and if it falls down, it can, it can certainly injure itself enough that it has to be put down. Dreadful sport. And I feel like you could fairly easily make jousting safer than that.
Probably. But I don't think so. I think that horse racing's horrible. And I don't think we should use that as like it'll be safer than that. Type metric.
I think I'm trying to get over, is it realistic? Could this happen? And I could see a world where jousting... In fact, does jousting exist?
Why don't they have mechanised horses? And they could have you could have it so that they don't actually fall on the ground. They've got like wires so that they just bounce off into midair.
We have bicycle polo. Surely we can have like bicycle jousting.
Nice.
Oh, bike joust. I bet that exists, you know.
If not, I think we should... get it started.
There's a lot of campaign to make jousting an Olympic sport for London.
There wasn't there? I think they didn't go for it.
Yeah, because it's horrendously dangerous.
I think we'd know if they had. I don't know if it's because of that. Like, people want chess in the Olympics. It's not dangerous. Problem, Laura?
Oh, sorry, I think my dad might be here. I have to go very shortly. Sorry.
Shall we wrap up there then? I think we mostly got our ideas. Any closing thoughts?
Did we like his dad?
Yeah, I loved him.
Lovely. Brought a tear to my eye.
Yes, he was good.
Yeah, lovely old man. The older the actors were, the better they seemed to be. And the children were just unbearable.
Yeah, oh God, they did not cast the children well.
Yeah, or they didn't direct them well or something. Just
wooden.
Yeah, very, very CITV 20 years ago.
You would say that, though, since your friend got overlooked.
Yeah, I mean, if the reason he got overlooked is because he wasn't a good enough actor, then he must be really bad. I expect he just didn't look enough like Heath Ledger. Comparison to the last film?
Oh, yeah.
Which was Yellow Submarine. Excellent use of music, right?
Oh, yes.
Jarring and unexpected use of music.
They're both English.
They're both English. Nailed it.
Very good. Do you mind? I'm so sorry. I think I have to go.
Can you play music?
Play the music? Yes.
Great.
Oh, fuck off.
Thank you. Great meeting.